Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you're starting to feel a little bit sweaty, it's because you have massive heat. I'm Jack Farmer, being joined as always by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri. And fellas, let's not waste time. Let's get into the reason why everyone wants to be here. Matt Morgan, I'm going to throw it over to you. Why don't you kick this thing off for us?
So I want to introduce a very close friend of mine, a woman that got started. No, she got started way before I did in professional wrestling, but got signed around the same time I did in WWE. And in my opinion, is a future first ballot WWE Hall of Famer and the one, the only, Gail friggin' Kim.
I love that intro. Thank you so much, Matt. I always forgot that we went back to WWE days. You're right. Oh my gosh.
OVW.
I know. Oh my God. Oh gosh. Just makes me feel old thinking about how long ago that was.
So to make you really feel old, Gail, I will remember right now, you're the first wrestler, guy or girl, I ever witnessed in my life.
Yeah.
That somebody would shoot off to a turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And would throw your feet through the second and third rope and be on the outside of the apron. And
oh, yeah.
The opponent would feed and you give him a flipper or a kick or something. I never seen that in all my life. I'm like, I looked at Rio Nova's Mike Bucci. I looked at him like, what the flip was that?
I know Mike Bucci. I miss him, actually. What a good guy. He was like, when I moved to Louisville for my first, when I moved into my first place at OVW, he was the first person I met. He lived on the bottom floor and I lived on the top floor. And he just welcomed me to the building in OVW and everything. So that's nice. It was a nice memory.
It was. You were like a video game professional wrestler. Sincerely.
I think maybe I was a little bit before that time, I guess, and I was always.
You think? No. You were, sis.
Yeah, I learned. I watched a lot of Mexican wrestlers and Mexican wrestling and Japanese, and I always really focused on trying to be different and original. I was like, I don't want any of my matches to look the same. Yes, I'll have my signature moves, but I always made sure that I always incorporated one new thing, like one new transition, one new move, whatever it was until I learned really storytelling was the most important thing, right? So.
Yeah, you always got that part of the component. That's why you were one of the fastest I've ever seen. Like, I got called up in 6 months with no training.
Yeah.
And I watched you get, I want to say, you were called up with like 2 to 3 months at most.
Yeah.
Before they called you up to the main roster, you were doing heat, you were doing those other matches, etc., and they realized what they had and they pulled you up.
Yeah. I was really lucky, but I'll be honest, Matt. I don't know if these guys know, but I did win the WWE Women's Championship on my debut night, and honestly,
no big deal.
I was so green. Honestly, I don't think that was the right place to start. I'll take it now because it made history, but at the same time, I'm like, you start at the top. There's only one way to go, and that's either stay straight or down. It's just really hard to start off that way. So I'm very grateful. I was not ready for it, honestly, if I was going to be completely honest.
But it adds to my argument why you're a first ballot. I'm sorry. You and Victoria both are first ballot Women Hall of Famer without question. I'm sorry. I'll put my entire chest on that one.
Yeah. Victoria, for sure.
No, for real. Victoria is amazing.
Yes.
The ultimate heel, ultimate poster, right?
Yes.
That can post her babyface smaller opponents. But you specifically, because you were an offensive juggernaut that created offense on the fly that the company had never seen by a female before you getting there. I'm sorry. Guys, hate to burst your bubble. If you're watching these girls today, I will bet you my life they totally stole from my girl Gail. I will bet my house on it.
I don't know, maybe some, but there's a whole generation of girls
and guys. Come on, Gail.
Yeah. I mean,
hang on, I'll give it to you, Gail.
Yeah.
The shoot off and then reversal to the turnbuckle. That's your ish.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Both
I'm really happy.
both.
I feel like the girls that were wrestling at that time, they're the ones that inspired me to become a wrestler, like Trish Stratus, Lita, Molly Holly, Ivory, like those girls. I even looking back now, I was so fortunate to be able to be part of that generation, even
Yep.
for just 2 years. I'm just so grateful that I got to work with those classic divas. Like, I'm sad that they don't call them. I know people think it's outdated, but
Right.
I think everybody wanted to be a diva. It makes you special when you're called a diva, right? Or something.
Better
Even
than superstar.
knockouts. Yeah. Even the knockouts at one point, they're like, should we change the name? It's a little outdated. I'm like, you
No.
can ask all the girls. They do not want the name to change. It's
Yes.
like special. It makes you feel special, and it's just nostalgia as well, right? So
100% yes. And I still argue both men and women are both jacking your moves as we speak. But
yeah.
nonetheless, hey, if I can, Raj, I'm going to throw to you first. Ask Gail the question you wanted to ask.
Can I jump in real quick just because it does?
Oh, sorry, Jack.
Sorry, but we got a super chat, and it goes with what we're talking about here.
I can't hear you, Jack.
Your volume's low, Jack.
Is my volume?
Or it's muted.
Oh, I can hear you.
I can't hear Jack. Maybe
here, I'll do the
question,
super
Matt,
chat.
him. Can you hear him?
Yeah. So Christina Irwin sent us $2 super chat.
I can only hear Matt.
Oh, that's really
great.
Oh, okay. It says.
I wonder if I.
Oh, a pioneer of the women's evolution. Thank you. I don't see any question though.
No, it's no
comments. Putting you over, Gail.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you. I'll take it, even though I can't hear it. You'll have to translate for me, Matt.
I got you.
So, Gail, you still can't hear me? Okay, she can't hear me. Here's my question, Matt, if you want to throw it to Gail.
All right, brother.
So there was a lot of controversy online recently with just some posts that Gail had posted. And to me, it didn't seem like a big deal.
Nope.
Said that she was saying that she felt like Riho's presentation, it appeared like she was dressed like a little girl. And she was a little uncomfortable with the presentation of dressing like a little girl. And then being, using making it sexy. Not that it's wrong to be sexy, but just when you have the look of, like she felt it was the appearance of a little girl. Like
it is.
She was uncomfortable with that.
But sorry, Gail. Go ahead, Gail. Tackle that question because I want to answer it. I'm not.
Gail, were you able to hear that?
No, I just.
Oh,
so
now
Gail, I got
everyone.
you. Gail, I got you. So the Riho stuff, how she's being presented, etc.
Yes.
What was your opinion on that? You shared on Twitter. If you
listen, Matt, you're part of politics. You understand this. It's just like everything is so blown up online. It's like you can't even have an opinion anymore. I was talking about one segment about one show that I saw probably when AEW started, and I just remember, like I said it on a different interview as well, that it just set the tone. What I was feeling, I felt uncomfortable once the cameraman was shooting up her dress, like I said, and I've experienced all that stuff in my heyday. And I was talking about one show, one segment, and the AEW fanatics lost their minds, and it's like, and they try to almost bully you into just apologizing or changing your mind. And I really, just stuck to my guns because, like, I never said anything bad about Riho. I talked about the segment. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion, and it's just it gets so twisted online. Just like I said, understand politics. Very similar, right? Wrestling and politics. It's like everybody wants it to be this extreme opinion, and then they probably read little clickbaits or what someone else wrote, and then it just gets twisted a million times over. So, if you go back and you actually read what I wrote or what I said, everyone's entitled to an opinion. People say all the time, did you see that botch last night on Raw? Did you see that, that person screw up? It's like, okay, well, you're obviously you're a fan, might have a small fan base or a few followers, but yeah, you know, when wrestlers say something, it's really magnified. We're public figures.
Yep.
Just people love to attack, and I'm not going to take the attack. I'm going to defend myself.
Right.
Go.
And Gail, you didn't hear this earlier, but
Yeah.
what the point I was making is that it didn't seem like you were critical of someone being presented as sexy, but you were
Yeah.
just critical because she seemed her presentation seemed like a younger girl, like a
Yes.
teenager, and that was what you had an issue with,
Yeah.
was being presented as a younger person and then being sexualized with that, especially with everything going on.
And with the camera, like right up her butt.
Oh.
Sorry to say, you know.
Yes.
And, like I said, I've had many moments when I went to the cameraman or the production truck and I said, "Hey, can you not do that? Like, I don't like that." And they would listen, and it changed throughout the years. And like I said, nothing against her and what I don't even know what she wrestles like now. I haven't watched AEW in a long time.
Right.
But happy to watch again. And like I said, it was an opinion, and people freak out over opinions. And
They do.
you know, I think people just need to be a little bit more open-minded, and you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with me. Listen, everybody has their own point of view, and that's okay. And I don't have to agree with you either. And I'll say agree to disagree.
No,
that's it, right?
It is interesting. I've noticed, like online, that when you're critical of WWE, it's very different than when you're critical of AEW. Like
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, and then you have reporters out there. One prominent reporter was like, "Oh, she should apologize over you basically just stating your opinion." Another quote unquote reporter said that you had been trying to contact AEW. Just ridiculous stuff.
Can I just? I do want to address that. I do want to address that.
Now I'm beating you to the punch, Gail.
Yeah.
Who is the reporter that said she should apologize?
Okay, we'll put reporter in quotes. We'll put reporter in quotes.
It was Dave Meltzer that said she should apologize.
Dave, you got my foot coming up your ass. How about that? Go ahead, Gail. Sorry.
Matt has a big foot too.
I'll say this. I did see that, and I was very shocked. You know, I already had not a high level of respect, or if any respect at all, because I never met him. But I'll say, wow, for you to blatantly lie like that, I would love to see the proof. That's what I say. Bring the proof, because I have the proof of the text exchange I had when I got, you know, fired from TNA with AEW contacting me. It was very brief, a quick little text exchange, like I said, from Sanjay, just asking me if I was, you know, basically thinking about wrestling. And I was like, I'm retired. You know, I wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
I'm retired. But like, why lie? It just is mind blowing to me.
Yeah, and just to clarify, sorry, it was Dave that went on a big tirade and said that Gail should apologize over the Riho tweets, and it was BJ Bethel that said that she was trying to contact AEW. So it was BJ who has never really broken a real wrestling story, was all of a sudden saying that Gail had been trying to contact AEW to try to position this as her bashing AEW or something for that reason.
That really actually showed me how crazy people can get, to be honest, because I was like, wow, because I think if you lie, you got to have another lie to cover it up and have another lie, and you got to keep track of your lies. It's like, that's why I just choose to never lie when it comes to things. You know, it's like, it's just mind blowing. That's all I can say. And he's lost all credibility with me.
Yep.
Not that, you know, he cares about that, but honestly, zero credibility now that I know he blatantly lied.
And moving on, Gail, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And good for you for sticking to your guns. You have every right to critique the business that you watch today, girl or guy, in your position as one of the best to ever do it. I'm sorry, guys, it's not hyperbole. I've witnessed it with my own eyes, so get over yourselves. And I'm right, she will be a Hall of Famer before it's all said and done. But with that said, like when you got a Kenny Omega, like a guy that is super impressive physically in the ring with his high spots, etc., etc. And blasting you on Twitter and saying,
Yeah.
"Ooh, the TKO gift basket's on their way."
Yeah.
And this is so frustrating to watch. I try to blast it as hard as I could because
Thank you. Thanks for defending me, Matt.
I wasn't the only one, Gail. I was one of 1,000 other former pro wrestlers that have been in WWE to the big time, not junior varsity AEW, with respect, not respect.
Yeah.
That defended you on that comment because you have the right to have it more than I do. You're a way bigger star than I was in that company. In our business
I don't know about that.
history. No. In our business's history,
Yeah.
you'll go down as somebody much bigger than me, my friend. And you have a right to share your goddamn opinion.
Yes.
And if people don't like it, okay, that's what comment sections are for.
Yeah.
But share a little bit when you saw that comment from a pretty aggressive wrestler.
So I woke up and I was like kind of under the weather. So that's why I was so active on Twitter on those. I still call it Twitter. And I saw the first comment was from Kenny, and I don't follow him, so I was on my For You because I see a lot more on my For You, and so I was like talking about me, and so I tweeted him back right away. I was like, "Don't beat around the bush. If you're trying to say something, say it." You know, because he didn't even at me. Like and plus, listen, you're an executive of a major promotion company. I mean, you are setting the tone. That's why all the AEW fans felt like it was okay to come after me, honestly. If he didn't encourage that behavior, I think that they wouldn't be as, aggressive as they are. Honestly.
You're right.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it because I keep forgetting he's an EVP. I forget that myself.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Yep. Example. I want to be fierce, but when I was part of I was very careful about what I did. I was very careful about how I represent myself and what kind of example I'm setting for the talent. Like you got to think about those things once you're in that kind of position.
No, and thank you for answering that, Gail, and thanks for being on tonight.
Absolutely.
But I could not wait to have your back, and I saw a lot of not just me, but all your brothers that were throwing in there because of how much respect we have for you and how much respect you have in this business. 10 times more. And with respect to the kids we see today, not even a modicum of what you hold. I'm being dead ass.
Well, I'll say that it's way more important about getting that back up to my people I've worked with and know me. The fans of today that have never even met me or jumped down my throat for an opinion, so thank you so much.
And Gail, I just wanted to ask you real quick regarding Omega. Was that the end of it, or did you ever hear back from him after that?
No, never heard.
That was it.
I don't know if he expected. I don't know. Maybe he just was told. Maybe someone at AEW told him to engage after that. Could be anything. Or maybe he just said, "Okay, you know what? I just reacted in the moment. I shouldn't have said anything." Who knows? But he never said it.
Go ahead, Jack.
So, Gail, before I get going with my question, I did want to shout out Colin here, who says, with a super chat, thank you, by the way, Colin says, Gail said nothing wrong. AEW fans will never take away what she did for wrestling. Now, I got to say, I don't think anyone will take away what she did, AEW fan or not, but
thanks,
shout out to Colin.
Yeah, shout out to Colin. Thank you.
Gail, we talked a bit about things that are said on social media and how they can impact people. And you also had a little bit of an exchange with GCW, Brett Lauderdale, and Deathmatch Wrestling.
Yeah.
Now, I am a big believer. I've said many times, the thing about opinions is you can't be wrong. If it's your opinion, it doesn't matter what facts you throw at me. If I like something, doesn't matter. That's what I like. But we talk about where like Kenny Omega's position is and stuff, and we talked about how you are such an influence to so many wrestlers. When you give your opinion, I think we can all agree that it means a little bit more when I give my opinion. I've got a couple of followers. You got over 400,000 followers. And, of course, you've got the history. when you comment about things like deathmatch wrestling,
Right.
is there a part of you that kind of thinks about it from the impact your comments have, or do you still feel like, listen, I'm just going to give you unfiltered thoughts on
Second.
what I think about wrestling?
unfiltered thoughts. That's just me. I don't think about that at all because I've just kind of always had that following, and I like to engage with fans and people online. And yeah, you're just gonna always hear, I'm always gonna be me, and people that know me know you're not gonna get anything but the genuine truth. And I'm pretty direct too. So, because I like people to be direct with me, I don't like to beat around the bush. I think it wastes time, and I think communication is great, whether it's good or bad.
Yep.
As long as we have open lines of communication. I tell my stepdaughters all the time, like, that's bad. Even if you're bothered by something, yeah, like brother and sister. If you tell them, "Oh man, this is bothering me," at least you're gonna get an answer out of it. So normally, when you're very direct, people are so thrown off because they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't expect you to ask me that question." You normally get the truth. I have found that a lot. That when I confront people in a very normal, not aggressive way, I say things directly. They're like, "Oh my god, oh, well, I assumed this, and I assumed that." And you normally clear the air. I mean, I've never had a bad open conversation, unless it's online on social media, but never in person. In person, it's always good. Always good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Raj, now I can't hear you.
You're muted, Raj.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, people can be keyboard tough guys, and that's the majority of social media. So, yeah.
Okay, so I've always said all the wrestlers have met so many trolls online, and we've never met even one. I don't know one wrestler that's met one troll in person.
Right.
Gail, can I give you a piece of advice? You've been in wrestling forever, but can I give you a piece of advice?
Yeah.
Get off the For You page. Just get off the For You page. Don't go on there.
It just automatically comes up.
It's just nothing good comes from the For You page.
Okay, I will take that into consideration. I've actually stayed off Twitter. I've stayed off Twitter X for the last little while, just for my sanity. Because people, I mean, you can never please anyone. I mean,
No.
even if I did an interview about it following with Jimmy Corderas and Donnie next. Yeah,
I love Jimmy.
I know Jimmy Corderas, and so we talked about it, and then it's like they put up a little tweet about it, and they're like, "Oh, now Gail's backtracking," and I'm just like, "Okay, guys, I have never changed my position on this. If I explain myself, you're not happy. It's just they just want you to agree. They want you to bend the knee and apologize, and it's like, no, I'm not going to apologize for an opinion where I was not bashing her or bullying her or anything
at all.
So, people like that, you're never going to change their mind. So I just have to move on, right? We just move on.
And if I can add to that, my favorite part of these feminist male wrestlers that claim they're feminists, are talking for the woman instead of letting her, God forbid, share her own opinion. They'd be like me, Gail, like, "Hey, Gail, I'm going to interview you tonight," and I answer my own questions that I threw your way tonight. It's so arrogant and it's so disrespectful. And the rib is they don't know they're being disrespected. They don't.
Well, I'll say someone a 4-day Twitter and another worker, they said, I'm all for you being outspoken, and I'm all for you being the next female Jim Cornette. And they said, but just monetize it. And I laughed and I said, "Oh, of course." And I said, "Well, I'll say one thing, that even if I did that, I just know, and I don't mind being that because I'm very outspoken." I said, the one challenge I'll have is that women definitely have a harder time than women when they're outspoken. So it's a little bit tougher. That's all. But I have tough skin. So if I ever did that.
But Gail, to your point, we witnessed it in real time.
Yeah.
Three different settings, 3 different comments.
Yeah.
We witnessed it in real time, folks. We ain't making it up. Y'all see it on Twitter. Like, we're not making it up. And Gail's one of the GOATs. So, like, what would you have done if this was Trish, if this was Lita, if this was Victoria, etc.? Would you have the same bass in your voice? Because she deserves this same exact categorization. So, would you do it then? So, for all you guys that claim that you're feminists, save it, because you're not. Chicken shits. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
So, coming out of all this, do you consider the matter to be over now? Like, is it like, have you heard from Riho at all, or is it just kind of like, let's just move on?
No, I really like people at AEW, but I don't want to regularly. I feel like maybe if I see some people I have more connection to TNA WWE people for some reason. Not sure why. It kind of works out that way. But yeah, no, I'm okay to move forward. I mean, my goal did.
Love it.
Also open for a conversation in case it was misinterpreted, but I can't force it. So but I've moved on.
Well, Gail, I just want to say thank you for the time you gave us. I asked for way much more than you gave me. I promised you 15 minutes that I asked of you. Give me 26. I'm beyond lucky. You're a good friend. Thank you so much.
You're awesome, Gail. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great show.
I appreciate
Love you.
Gail.
Love you, Gail.
Bye.
Well, that was a delight. It was great having Gail on.
She's awesome.
I wanted Gail Kim's profile photo over my face. So you don't see my ugly fat face kickball head. But go ahead.
When Derek was making all the graphics, I was like, there's one rule, Derek. You can't cover this. This is all you gotta
Yes, you can. Not that, but this. Yes,
I was like, listen, Matt and Raj, they've actually done things in this industry, so they can talk to stuff, but me, this is all I bring to the table.
Not me.
It's a lot, Jack. It's a lot, Jack.
I comb my beard and everything, so no way you're covering me up tonight.
Well, that was fun, Matt. You are our super agent, getting great guests on, and everyone, thank you so much for joining us in the chat. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been a part of these and everyone who's been watching the show. Also to the lurkers who just watch and don't interact at all. I still appreciate you, still love you. But I would love for you to like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure to check out all of the shows on Podcast Heat, stuff like Nick Patrick, D'Lo Brown, a whole bunch of folks that you can check out just by subscribing. Plus, when you subscribe, you get to be in the chat, and then we chat with you. We put your comments up. It's a great time. Everyone loves it. Let's talk a little bit about the news in pro wrestling. Has The Rock hit rock bottom? Oh, boy, I was waiting all day to see that one. Smashing Machine came out this weekend, and it was what many call a box office flop. Cost $50 million to make, was expected to make $20 million opening weekend. It actually made $6 million this weekend. From The Rock's perspective, he took to Instagram to say, in our storytelling world, you can't control box office results, but what I realized you can control is your performance and your commitment to completely disappear and go elsewhere, and I will always run to that opportunity. Went on to say that truth is this film changed my life. So didn't make the money, Raj, right off the bat, but it seems that The Rock is still pretty happy about it. What's your takeaway? You're pretty good with how important numbers like this are, so I'd like to get your thoughts.
Yeah, because everyone I've heard from has praised The Rock's performance. I haven't heard many bad things about the movie. It's mostly been universally praised, and I know, Matt, you're going to share your thoughts on it, but I'm hoping to see it this week. It's too bad that it did so bad, because that, usually when Oscar nods come out, they kind of, because this was thought to be The Rock's foray to get possibly an Academy Award nomination. I hope it still people were talking about that. There was that buzz. And a lot of times when a movie when that narrative comes out that it was a bomb or, then it kind of moves them aside from other actors. So it's unfortunate because he really poured his heart and soul into this movie. But yeah, it did not do well at all. Of his wide release movies, he did have one movie called Southland Tales that had a limited release that didn't do well. That did less than this when it opened, but that was a limited release. This was a big theatrical release. I did too.
That was also like way before he was like a superstar.
But he was the main guy in it.
He was the man at WWE by far when they came out with that, and I watched it. I'll admit it.
Me too. I actually kind of liked it. Thought it could have easily been better, but it was pretty good. There were a ton of people in that movie. Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Just
Michelle. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar. I forget, but there was a ton of people in that movie.
Huge stars. I agree. Yeah.
You know what? I always say that it's like sorry to go off on Southland Tales rant. That is like the most perfect. Like you kind of fall asleep on the couch on a Sunday while the action movie's playing, and you're like watching it but not watching it. Chef's kiss.
I liked it. I really watched it.
Right. And, the thing with Smashing Machine also is it's not a Rock movie. My daughters love The Rock. All these kids love The Rock. They're not going to see this. It's not meant for them. It was for a niche audience. I don't know why they spent $50 million on a movie like this.
Me either.
It seems like it shouldn't have been more than like 20 to 30. And so I think that was the mistake right there because it's not a wide release movie about Mark Kerr. It's like only hardcore MMA fans know who he is.
Yes.
So it just seemed like an error from the beginning as far as budgeting what they thought the appeal of this movie was. Plus, The Rock didn't look like himself. He transformed. He didn't look like the movie star Rock that, people of all ages love.
A commercialized fan's going to want to watch and see. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like the story, right? I'm an addict, as you guys, 19 and a half years sober from painkillers. My first few years in WWE as what you would call a functioning addict, which first one to be there, last one to leave. Who could tell anything was wrong with me at all? Nobody could. But nonetheless, like I can really identify with Mark Kerr's story. The problem is that I'm in the pro wrestling business, and there's people that love UFC as fans, and they'll recognize it. But that is not the majority of America as a whole. It's just not. And to try to tell a story like this, yeah, you got to be fair, they do have the biggest Hollywood, celebrity playing the role. They do. They did that part. But I just don't think there's that much interest in the story. And what sucks is I wish more people would because of the mental health crisis we do have in our country. I'm not trying to grandstand and be a nerd here, but I think a lot of more people could have taken from his story of busting it and getting through it, Mark Kerr, I mean, of his addiction, and still, as we speak today, he's alive with his family, etc., etc. And he made good with his life. It was a good story to take. The problem is that anytime Rock's involved, it's supposed to be a huge, humongous hit. And on one hand, as Rock wants to pay homage to Mark Kerr, I think he's also hurting it in a weird way because he's such a top celebrity, such a top actor, highest paid in Hollywood, is that if it doesn't blow it out of the water, then it's considered a failure. I don't want Mark Kerr to go back home to his family like, oh, the movie about me was a failure. I hate every bit of that so much because he got his life back on track. And again, as a fellow addict, I'm pretty proud of very proud of his story and his recovery, as weird as that may sound.
Yeah. I do feel like long term that this is good for him. I think this is me just maybe reading too far into it, but from The Rock's perspective, I think it's going to end up being okay because you look at the movies he'd been coming out with, he'd been starting to frankly lose a little bit of that box office superpower over the past few years. I mean, Moana was a success, but Red 1 came out. It was considered a flop. Black
was it?
Adam, yeah, it was.
I'm such a Mark. I like that movie too. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It was cool, but
I'm a Mark.
Yeah, was 100. It made 185 million. I pulled it up here, but it 250.
That's not good
to make. Black Adam was considered as good as they wanted it to. Jungle Cruise didn't do as good as they wanted it to. So I think he needed to make a change. And I feel like even if this doesn't do good, we'll see The Rock start to get bigger, more successful roles going forward. I think this is the pivot that hurts now, but later on is successful for him.
And he's going to be fine. He's got Moana coming up, the live action Moana. And so right up, that's going to be huge. And then Jumanji 3, that'll be huge. Those movies have been blockbusters. The first Jumanji was a huge, massive hit. So the box office wise, he's going to be fine. It's just interesting with MMA. Like no one has figured out how to make the right commercial MMA movie that appeals to non-MMA fans. Because did you guys see the movie Warrior?
Yes.
A really good movie. Tom Hardy's in it, Nick Nolte, big stars, and it only made like 20. It was a flop. It made 23 million. It cost 25 million.
Raj, Tom Hardy was amazing in that.
He was awesome. The movie was great, and
everyone. That was a great movie.
Yeah, it just didn't appeal to non-MMA fans.
It's a weird thing too, because boxing movies do great, but MMA doesn't.
Listen to me. Listen to me. There is a cutoff with MMA for some weird reason when it comes to movies. It's not just this movie; it's others too. It's weird. I don't get it because they do great gangbusters at box office when there's an actual UFC pay-per-view main event waiting to happen. It's huge. So I don't know. Are we still 10 years behind the curve on the Rocky version of an MMA movie? I don't know. Feels weird.
That's what Warrior seemed like it was trying to be. Was the
Rocky.
That's
what I thought it was, Raj. Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of good ones, but for whatever reason, we just haven't caught on to it yet. For movies.
And you had The Rock. Hang on. And you had The Rock, the biggest actor in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
He couldn't pull it off.
He didn't. To be fair, he didn't look like The Rock.
So that's what I was saying.
It doesn't. Time out. When you're going to that movie, he's advertised The Rock as playing Mark Hurt. Everybody knows it.
Right.
If he doesn't look it or not, I don't care. My point is that if you have the biggest actor in Hollywood right now, and he can't pull off an MMA successful movie, they're in trouble a little bit, and we're behind the curve still, in my opinion.
But I wonder how many people were like, I don't want to go see a Rock movie to see good acting. I want to see a Rock movie to see him blow stuff up and punch.
Right.
To do what? Bounce his boobs? You saw Rock at 270 on the gee's ass and jack to the gills. So every woman that wants to see that gets to see that. Every guy that wants to see that gets to see that.
But when you would see Jim Carrey, right? He would do these great comedies, and then when he starts doing serious stuff, you're like, I don't want to see that. I want funny Jim Carrey or funny.
Time out. What roles do you think Rock's best at? Bouncing his pecs?
I think
Fast and Furious, Jumanji, where he does has some charm.
Time out. In Fast and Furious, he was an ass kicker. He was a serious character.
Yeah, that's what he's best at. That's what he's best. Well, I think Jumanji
was he not serious here?
But with blowing stuff up and
when you're jumping in the car,
that's all it takes. Can you see? Can you guys see my stand on my shirt? I'm getting old. Can't do it anymore.
I just shake my arms.
Speaking of ratings not being as good as you want them, there's been a ratings shakeup in how we measure how successful wrestling shows are. And Raj, again, I'm going back to you because you're the expert. I'm looking at Twitter trying to figure out what all this means. So, people are telling me difference. But what's going on with the ratings these days?
Come out before you start, Raj. I just want to say for every podcast, for every YouTube channel out there, you need to pay homage to my man right now, Raj Giri, who is the first to put it out there. And y'all jumping on it like you're breaking news. Wrestle talk. Pay homage where it's deserved. Go ahead, Raj.
That is true. When and Dave, like he was a week behind, but so Nielsen they rolled out this new system, this new rating system that the NFL had been requesting for a long time, because right now the Nielsen, or up until a couple of weeks ago, the Nielsen sampling size was only 42,000 households. So 42,000 households made the viewing decisions for the entire country, right?
Yep.
So they implemented this new system. It's called the Big Data Plus panel system. The old system was just a panel system. Big Data now includes set-top boxes, smart TVs, and that includes 45 million plus devices. So now you went from 42,000 to 45 million plus. So it's seen as much more accurate. And you've seen football numbers go up. You've seen baseball numbers go up. News numbers have gone up. Other shows have been kind of the same, but wrestling has gone way down. AEW has done their all-time lowest Dynamite rating last week. SmackDown was way lower than usual. And we got the old system numbers and then the new system numbers. And the old system numbers for the same episode were way higher than the new system. So for whatever reason, this new system that has way more people involved, wrestling ratings are down. So it seems like the old system, the way they, just maybe with the demographics that they chose with the sample size, it just, for whatever reason, seemed to skew more heavily to wrestling fans than were actually watching the show. So it seems like wrestling was not as popular as those ratings suggested.
Yep.
Do these new ratings just to clear, do the old ratings and or the new ratings take into account Netflix streams or Max streaming, or is it just cable?
They do take into account for that, but not for AEW. For AEW, they're not counting the Max stream along with that number. So the AEW the AEW number is just for TNT. Okay. But a lot of the sports that are taking into account both.
Raw, I'm just trying to get ahead of what everyone's going to be arguing about on Twitter for the next 3 years. So people will be saying Raw's numbers count Netflix, AEW's does not count Max. So that's going to be the thing that we have to deal with people arguing about for this whole thing.
Right.
But
the one thing is that people that subscribe to Max, it's been proven, and the CEO even said that David Zaslav said that the subscribers to Max are for the HBO shows like White Lotus and shows like that. They weren't coming for sports. They weren't coming for and this was when the NBA had just finished. And so people weren't going to Max for sports. They were going, or at least subscribing to it for that. They were subscribing for the original content. Because most people that watch HBO and get that service, they're not getting it to watch wrestling.
No, series.
You could get
series.
Yeah, they're getting it for the series. Back in the day, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, White Lotus. I'm one too. I mean, they've had the best shows of all time, in my opinion.
I agree.
And that's the bulk of their subscribers, and those subscribers are probably not wrestling fans. At least a lot of them.
Sure.
And I'll say that I'm a wrestling fan, and I watch AEW on Max, but Max does AEW no favors in trying to find Dynamite and stuff when you try to look it up on there. It is difficult to
impossible.
Because even when you search Dynamite, it's never even the first thing. It's like an old Collision will be like, at least for me, old Collision is like the first one. Then there's like Napoleon Dynamite, everything else. You got to find.
Yes. No, you're not lying. That's true. I saw the same thing.
It's always just buried. I'm just like, God, how can, as opposed to, and I'm not trying to say that this is the reason. I'm not trying to pick a side.
You're not crapping on it. You're just being honest.
But Netflix, you see Raw right at the top, very easy to get to. It's very easy to find there. Max does AEW no favors on that show. There.
And once you've watched Raw, if you go to Netflix, you see Mr. McMahon and anything WWE related in one carousel.
Right. Where with Max, even if I look up AEW, then it gives me 10,000 Collision from August 23rd and Battle of the Belts from 2 years ago.
I never see any AEW on my home screen on Max, even though that's what I usually watch it on.
Yeah, I watch it every week on there, and I've never seen it. But to wrap things up, I do got to say, whenever I'm looking for ratings news, I'm not saying this to blow smoke, Raj. I wait till you say something. I don't care about what any other person tweets or puts out there. I'm like, what does Raj have to say? Because he'll always give me the real deal, like
Get a lot of hate for it.
That's why I let you do all that stuff.
Right. Thanks.
The old numbers are out. Speaking of out, it sounds like Santos Escobar is out of WWE. The former leader of Legado del Fantasma, Matt Morgan, on our group chat, you were talking about how much of a
say what I said. Read it. Read it to the fans. Go.
You
say
said,
what I said.
Who did he ever beat? Is what you said.
No, I cursed. Who the bleep is this? That was my comment. Who the bleep is that? And then you try to defend who this was. I said, who did he ever beat? So, I'm keeping it a buck. I'm sorry if I don't know who he is. That's your favorite wrestler, so I hurt your feelings.
Dude, he was one of my favorite wrestlers in NXT, to be honest with you.
You measer. Oh my God. Kick him off our show right now, Raj. Boo. This way. Boo. That way.
There he goes.
Matt, I was always a huge fan of Santos Escobar. I was a fan of King Cuerno and Lucha Underground. I was a
who and who?
Wait, are you asking who's King Cuerno or what's Lucha Underground?
I know Lucha Underground. Didn't know the second name. Honestly, I'm not being a jerk.
Yeah, but it's just his character in Lucha Underground, King Cuerno.
Oh, you're so cool. You're so cool.
I know. Well, you know this.
I'm messing with you.
But he actually started back in.
Well, what's he going to do? I mean, his contract reportedly expires tonight. Like he's going to be a free agent tomorrow.
And
so, does he become the 86th member of the Don Callis family?
Yes. Yes.
87th, to be
fair.
Right.
That's what's in store. I was going to say.
Forgot about the hologram guy. No, it's 87 now.
Right.
But hang on. I have a feeling we're witnessing a hologram without a mask on. If I'm being honest, watching AEW every week, I think we just don't know it.
No, hologram's injured right now.
Supposedly. There's a new member. If you guys watch AEW every week, there's another guy out there wrestling that's very similar to him without a mask. And I don't know. Anyways, I'm probably giving them too much credit. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
But Raj, what are your thoughts? Do you think Santos goes to AEW? Were you a fan of Santos Escobar? Or I feel like he's not someone who's really your kind of wrestler, Raj. You're more the big box.
Good, Raj. Own it and say, hell no, he's not my kind of wrestler. Say it. Say it's Roman Reigns.
It is Roman Reigns.
With your chest. It's called being a draw.
Don't break my heart, Raj.
Look, I think Santos I thought he had a great look and everything. I just felt like he couldn't put it together to make the audience care, right? Like,
nope.
I mean, how long had he been on the main roster? And it was just like, oh, Santos is still here. And he kind of sucked LA Knight's time for a while. They seemed like for like 2 months they were wrestling every week. I just felt like he never got to connect. And for me, a wrestler has to have the whole package. Promos, charisma, and be good in the ring. And his matches never really impressed me all that much. He was fine. He was good, but nothing great. And I just never found him all that entertaining. He was one of those wrestlers I would skip if I'm trying to get through SmackDown pretty quick.
So in today's wrestling, he's considered what JR would call a great hand. Not a good hand. A great hand. Looks like $1 million physically. But if at this point in 2025, especially in this year, you can grab a microphone and sell people into the audience in the arena to make them see you get your ass kicked if you're a bleep licking heel or a babyface. It doesn't work. And we saw it with Andrade. Andrade is so talented in the ring. Oh my God, is he? But who cares? Because he still cannot conduce a promo. You have to be able to talk somehow.
I will say with Andrade, though, I thought he was awesome when they had him with Zelina Vega years and years ago.
Why?
Like,
Why? Wait, no. Don't go any further.
Mhm.
Why?
Because Zelina was fantastic as the manager, her talking, on the mic, doing
There
his
we go.
talking,
There we
and
go.
then he was able to deliver in the ring, and that package really worked.
I agree.
I don't know why they didn't go back to it when he came back.
I don't either, because they're not doing anything with her, and they love her to death, and they should love her. She's a good woman. But she was a great manager, great voice piece for him, and she got him massively over. And his in-ring action got him over too.
Yeah.
It was a great match. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everyone in the chat, let me know what you think the future for Santos Escobar holds. Do you want to see him in AEW?
Ain't nobody commented on that.
Or do you want to see? Well, I would comment. I want to see Santos Escobar somewhere, and I want to see him blow up, and I want to come back and go, I told you so. He was great.
All right, Jack.
I'll own it when it happens. I promise I will.
New Japan TNA, back to NXT, back to WWE, or AEW? Where would you want to see him?
I'd like to see him in TNA. I think that'd probably be the best spot for him right now, because I think that they would give him time on TV and put him in matches that he could succeed in, as opposed to with AEW. I think there's just too much stuff going on. It's hard to make anyone stand out there.
Yeah, we saw with Wardlow.
Well, everybody. I mean, they've got 17 championships.
Everybody.
And
that's true.
They've got a stable with
people only care about 3.
And they've got it's just too much is going on. But Mr. T94 says he thinks he'll be on Dynamite tomorrow.
Okay, so Mr. T, if he is, I'm calling it now. He's gonna be Don Gallo's family. You should not want that.
No,
that Don.
Hopefully,
Callis
they come up with something different.
Don Callis' family is like just
death sentence.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to be. Someone who doesn't have a death sentence because they're retiring soon, John Cena. News about his potential last match is being talked about. Dave Meltzer states that Gunther is planned to be John Cena's final opponent. 2 sources have confirmed that the latest plan is for a tournament to be announced, possibly on air by Paul Levesque, with top wrestlers vying to be Cena's last opponent.
Wow.
Multiple have confirmed, however, it reaches the conclusion that Gunther was the person chosen for the match at this point. Matt, is Gunther the right person for John Cena's last match?
Like I told you guys, when everybody's all huffy puffy about Brock beating him the way he did, you all don't know John. John's a fan of the history of the business more than y'all will ever know. And as a guy that got ruled with the golden shovel of bearing people along his way, right? This dude was always going to go out on his shield with a L, with a loss. His last match in WWE history, I promise you, it ain't going to be a win. It's going to be a loss. And if you're telling me right now, because this is the first time I'm hearing it, Jack, Gunther's the one to do it, I'm okay with that, actually. I have no problem with that. But a tournament to decide it, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. I'd rather a good storyline for it.
Yes, that.
Yeah. This is what kind of sucks. And look, I was a part of it too. I'm not blaming Dave. He's a reporter. But he's kind of giving that away now. If the tournament happens, we know who's going to win. It just the spoiler aspect. It just kind of sometimes sucks the fun out of it. Yeah, and I'm not blaming Dave for doing that. Again, with Wrestling Inc., we would post. There would be spoilers all the time.
I'm blaming you, Dave. Thanks for ruining it completely.
Yeah. There's one thing reporting news
coming for your butt.
Right. There's one thing reporting news, like a contract expiring, and then there's another where you're giving away matches or angles and stuff.
Can I ask you a question? If roles were reversed and this was AEW, let's pretend AEW has been around for 20 plus years at this point. You think you'd do the same if this was? Let's fast forward. Kenny Omega has been in this business somehow magically with AEW for 25 years. Do you think you'd do the same and issue a spoiler on who that person was going to be to take on Kenny Omega? I'll give my spoiler alert on that. Hell no, he would not have.
I don't think he would.
And I hate this crap. I hate the tribalism. It sucks because like that's crappy. I would have liked to have seen what if there's a tournament, what that would have turned out. And if it was Gunther, like holy crap, this is going to be great, and he's going to kick Cena's ass. And I cannot wait to see Cena take chops from him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because who else really is left? Because if it wasn't going to be a Brock rematch,
he's not going to win. John Cena will not go out winning. I swear to you guys on everything.
And so who's the one guy that benefits? I mean, it'd be like him or Braun Breaker. Really, would be the two obvious choices.
Ooh, okay. I do.
Does the loss to Braun?
Hang on, Jack. I think no, it doesn't. And I think Braun could use it right now because he's kind of being pushed to the back right now, which he should not be, of the Vision. I think if they lined him up for a singles match with Cena, I'm sorry, he beat Cena. I think I think not just one person could beat Cena. I'm sorry. I think he could. I think Gunther could. We haven't seen anything from Gunther lately.
Yeah, he had been out with an injury, but he already beat Goldberg. He already retired Goldberg. I think Braun could use it more.
He could. Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say I think Gunther needs it more because I look back to when Brock really became super unstoppable, right? And it was after he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And then after that, he squashed John Cena. And it was like a 1-2 punch of just devastatingly powerful wins.
Yeah.
If Gunther puts away Goldberg forever and then puts away John Cena forever, that's a very similar 1-2 moment that could put Gunther in that Brock Lesnar stratosphere.
Jack, the way you're explaining it, your A plus B equals C squared Pythagorean theorem you're using here is hang on, because when you talk, it cuts my mic. My mic sucks. Is explaining something to somebody that needs to be Brock Lesnar. And I will argue Gunther needs to beat Brock Lesnar.
Which I could see that being the WrestleMania match.
Oh, I pay for it.
Yeah.
I want to see Brock's. Hang on, Raj. I want to see Brock's shoot reaction to being chopped so bad. I'll pay the WrestleMania ticket just for Brock because he doesn't know how to listen to me. He does not know how to be serious, and like if you stiff him, he does not know how to hide it. Like, oh yeah, oh you got me, bro. Like he's a dick, and he's like motherfucker, and tear his head off.
Do you remember that match with Braun Strowman and Brock?
Yes.
Where Brock just flat. He's like, I'm not even hiding. Just punches him in the head.
Nope. Maybe nobody.
I've rewatched that clip like 17 times in my life. I've seen it. I've watched it so many times.
And Braun
behaved. Braun's head literally like shift.
He could have gotten so over. You guys, Braun could have gotten so over if he did not react to it the way he did. He said, F it, I'm going to business for myself. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 380 pounds. I'm 6'9". And yeah, Brock would have killed you. But nonetheless, I would have gotten I'm sorry. I'm just speaking now like 20 years past my prime of what I would have done somehow. But, man.
Well, I'll tell you, if Brock ever hit me like that, I'd be dead. That'd be the end of it.
Well, we all would, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we went. I mean, we had Gail on, which was awesome. I think with Raw, did anything really happen?
No, I texted you guys. I said at least half of this will be the main event tonight. 4 hours before it happened today, and I was right.
What were you going to say, Jack?
Well, I do want to say, I made a mistake, and I got to apologize here. Mike D, you had a super chat for Gail, and somehow I missed it. And it was asking about two wrestlers. Mike D, if you're still here, feel free to ask us a question, any question you want, and we'll get to it. But
please, Mike, thank you. Sorry about that, Mike.
So I apologize for Mike. That's on me. But a few things that stood out to me, I want to get your guys' thoughts on. First off, Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupri. Matt, I want to talk to you about this one because everyone talks about Becky Lynch like her promos are great, her character's great, her outfits are great.
Yep.
But I'm watching this. I'm saying what makes Becky Lynch great is a match like this where she made Maxine Dupree look like $1 million in there. And I think there's very few people who could do that with all respect to Maxine Dupree.
I can't say I could not have said that any better, Jack. I cannot add anything to that. You hit the nail on the head more than you know. And Becky has to agree to that. Let's be crystal clear. She's such a major star in that company. She has to okay that. That's where they're at now with the Becky Lynch character, the man. And hey, Becky, you cool doing it? Yes, I am. And here's how we're going to do it. Here's the psychology we're going to use. It was perfect. Perfect to her last promo of the night, leaving Seth in the locker room by himself where he's doubting himself. It was so well written and so well told. It only happens when you have a character as comfortable is the word, with Becky Lynch that's willing to get other talents over on her way. Very, very proud of her. I tweeted about it tonight because it was a great match. Nobody's ever made that girl look better. Sorry. And she's coming into her own as well. She showed now to the WWE massive audience, the masses, that she can now hang with real major league former champions, etc. This is going to help Maxine a lot. And now it makes her a believable babyface in the future. And Becky did that of her non-ego and playing the game. And I got so much respect for her for that. That's why she was my number 6. 6 top 10 favorite wrestler of all time today.
That match was incredible the way they laid it out.
Right, Raj?
It was incredible. And Maxine, it wasn't just her best match. It was her best match by far.
She stepped up.
And the crowd popped huge to a count-out victory.
Yes.
When have you seen that?
Good point.
Yes.
When was the last time?
I don't know.
A DQ or a count-out gets a huge pop.
Not like that.
They loved it, and it all worked. This was actually a pretty good episode of Raw overall. Raj, they did a great job with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. That story has been really good.
I agree with the pre-tape about setting up their match coming into Crown Jewel. But real quick before we go, I just want to say, like, the crowd chanting "This is awesome" in the Max Dupree match. Maxine Dupree match.
Yeah.
It was a star,
and it was deserved. It wasn't like,
No, I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
She stepped up, but Becky set the table. We got to give her credit. She led her.
It wasn't just the count out. It wasn't just a count. It was a very competitive match throughout that made it feel okay. It wasn't like Becky just squashed her and then got caught outside. It was like there were many times where I was like, oh my God, Maxine's gonna win. Like, it was great. It was exactly what pro wrestling is. I loved it.
There was something that Lance Storm said recently where he was saying like someone like Will Ospreay, he does, all this great stuff in his matches, and it gets him over. But wrestlers like Sami Zayn, and I'll throw Becky Lynch in there, they really get their opponents over. You know, like they have great matches, but they get their opponents over and really, move to, transform that whatever you call it.
And Raj, to piggyback off that, what he's saying there, Lance is one of my trainers in OVW, is he did this times a million. Lance himself was, I have a match tonight. I'm wrestling 7-foot Matt Morgan. I got to make him look 7 foot, 350 pounds, even though I can work circles around this circus clown green guy, my first year in the business. But my point is, those are the good workers. Fans today, you got to stop looking at the guys that do the high spots, the flipping, and this and that. Instead, look at the talent. Who can take a greenhorn and lead them through what I will call tonight's match without question? Could have been a main event on any Monday Night Raw or SmackDown card between Becky Lynch doing her job as a vet versus Maxine Dupree. I'll put my life on that. That's how good Becky is, and she deserves the roses for it.
fantastic match. The only other thing that really stands out, and Raj, I think you alluded to this a second ago, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes build. I think it's been one of the best champion versus champion kind of builds we've seen in a very long time. But Raj, Paul Heyman, disrespectful to Seth Rollins. I've never seen him this disrespectful to one of his clients before. He's kind of, even over the past few weeks, he's kind of been a little bit like, usually he loves his clients. This one he's kind of like, I don't know.
Really, like putting the stakes out there, like why Seth has to win, like he, because there's not a real title involved. He's not winning Cody's title, but he really made it important that Seth win this, and that was great how they handled it.
He has to. Seth has to beat him. And no slate off for Cody's back if he loses here. None.
Well, I thought this was a great show. I get to chat with Gail Kim. I enjoy getting to chat with you guys. I enjoyed getting to chat with the chat. Everyone, thank you. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're in the middle.
So you guys are going to kill me. I know I'm going over time. One last thing. LA Knights was the most over act in the main event tonight. Sorry.
You thought?
I no, maybe not with the fans in there, but with me, Matt Morgan.
Yeah.
Yes. Now I'm thinking about changing my number 2 CM Punk in my top 10 and switching LA Knight out and Punk going to my number 8.
Wow.
You should.
Well, listen to me. Just because he has the better point he's making, right? Like he beat Seth 2 or 3 times and Punk hasn't. I want to see this dude become a world heavyweight champion so bad. LA Knight.
Me too.
He's super over with lackluster writing around him. And for the love of God, you guys saw me text you guys in the group text. Can we just get rid of Jey Uso already? Go away. Get out of the main event picture. No disrespect. Do your stuff with Roman if that's what you want to do. And same with Jimmy for that matter. We don't need you in the main event picture because you're holding up my boy, LA Knight, or even Punk from getting the world heavyweight title. And it's annoying. You had your shot. Didn't work.
Well, I'm going to double down on that. Christina Irwin has a super chat for you, Matt, and asks thoughts on Paul Heyman going with Jey Uso.
Great. I hope that's what happens. Keep him away from the world heavyweight title for now. We tried it. It didn't work. I want LA Knight or Punk to win it. I'm sorry. I do.
Yeah, I feel like Raw could use one of those two guys on top with the other guy chasing and really freshen things up. Because Punk has been he's been on that Seth train forever. And, just getting him off of that for a bit and moving on to someone new. And I think he could do some cool stuff with LA Knight. I think Punk going heel against LA Knight would be freaking great.
I would like to flip-flop that, Raj. I think LA Knight would rip a new one. Would rip him a new one as heel LA Knight because I think it's funnier.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think LA Knight winning the world title for the first time would be kind of cool as a babyface and fans chanting, going
yeah.
No matter what, I just hope it happens. That's all I want. Heel or face, I don't care. I just want it to happen for him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Team LA Knight. I want LA Knight to win the championship, but I want to call everyone.
It's because you hate Punk. It's because you hate Punk, Jack Farmer.
Punk hater.
He was not in your top 10. He was in my top 10.
Not in my top 50. No. Oh, well, this was a blast, you guys. Thanks again, everyone. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and be a part of the chat. Be back next Monday. And also check out all the stuff from Podcast Heat. But before we go, Raj, where can the world find you? All the stuff you're working on and all those juicy ratings informational posts.
Follow me on Twitter, the Raj Giri, and also on 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson.
Big time in us. Okay. Let me go. Let me promote my stuff. So you guys know where to find me on social media, but more importantly, go onto the Massive Heat YouTube channel. See our last interview with Maven. His very controversial top 10. Jack pushed him, asked him about it. He shared it with us. I shared mine. Jack shared his. And then this week, we just had Gail Kim, who was also all over Twitter this week with 3 multiple items. She was so cool to come on the show. I want to thank her again. I always called her Heel Kim. It's an inside joke. Love you to death, Heel Kim. Thanks for coming on tonight.
And I definitely recommend everyone check that out. And I do want to thank Gail Kim as well for coming on, just because I feel like when you talk to people about stuff, you realize that all the stuff we get into on Twitter isn't really that deep and serious.
No, it's never that deep.
So it's always great to hear someone talk about it, especially someone like Gail Kim, who's just so upfront about it and so fun to talk to about it, actually. So thank you to her. You can find me at Real Jack Farmer across all social media here on Massive Heat, as well as watching 83 Weeks with Conrad and Raj and Shaw. That does it for us. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you guys next Monday.